Hello guys and welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Dylan and I had an idea for a story. Ever since Star Wars Rogue One came out, I had this idea. I've been sitting on it for a very long time. And then Star Wars The Mandalorian came out and that ended up being a great TV show. So I turned my movie idea into a TV series idea, and then I started writing it down for the first time ever. And what I have decided to do is I have decided to publish it, make videos on it, show it to you guys. Now, this is definitely not canon by Disney. This is not made by Disney. This is made by me, a fan. It is fan made, and I am not a professional writer. I am not a professional speaker. I will narrate it for you, but feel free to, of course, mute me and read it for yourselves, because some people can read faster than I can speak better than I can, so go ahead and feel free to do that. I cannot put music in these videos because, of course, copyrights, but feel free to turn on some Star Wars music in the background and read my Star Wars story. My fan-made Star Wars story, The Rise. Prologue. Long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars, The Rise. The galaxy seems to be at peace. People have been meeting up on Coruscant for ages, claiming to be a government, only to have it cause system after system war on what's considered law in some parts of the galaxy. Still, it's better than a decade ago. Every few years there's rise a foolish race who thinks they can rule the galaxy, only to fall into history as a joke compared to the so-called Republic government found on Coruscant. The only ones that seems to come close is the Sith race, if you can call them that. Barbaric people worse than the Mandalorians, always at war with one another on their homeworld. Actually, no one knows where their homeworld is, only that they're at always war with one another for power. Still, that was 10 years ago, and our story starts here, on a passenger ship on Tatooine in the Outer Rim. Chapter 1. The Man in the Old Cloak. A man that looks the age of around 30, in a scruffy-looking cloak-like robe, black boots, long greasy hair, a partially shaven beard, and dark bags over his eyes, wakes up to the room spinning. As he looks at the ball of something in his fist, he wonders how much sleep he actually got. On a transport, he sits staring at the sand with monster arms coming up and down, out trying to get the transport ship. The pilot, who was asleep in the back room, runs to the cockpit, telling his co-pilot droid to get out of the way. "Well, good day, passengers aboard. Pay no attention to the monsters. This is normal on this planet. We'll be at our departure soon. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride." The captain grabs the thrusters and blasts them at top speed as sand people shoot at the ship. After about 10 minutes of what the man would call flying out of control, they finally get to their destination, the Hutt's crown town. As he heads to the front of the shuttle, he almost vomits. The captain looks and says, "Sorry for the bumpy ride. Welcome to the crown town. Have a nice stay on Tatooine." The man gets up and heads straight for the center of town, where he hopes to find the king. He does as trumpets sign off and big signs say welcome to Precisely Crown Town opening, given to you by the Huts. As he walks over, just the guy he wanted to see is sitting there. King Inca the Hutt, I have returned, your highness. The big slimy slug-like creature turns in surprise. He speaks in his language, then a translator droid by his right side says, King Inca, surprised to see you soon. You only just left 2 days ago. You do not disappoint. He would like to speak business with you in private later on, after the celebration. Just bring him what he asked for, and we will keep his side of the bargain. He invites you to stay and enjoy the festivities. I've enjoyed enough of this plan's festivities, and would like to leave before the next rotation. Just hand me the cash, and I will keep my end of the deal. He laughs and speaks more in his language, then gestures to the dancing Twi'leks in the street. His droid then says, What is your rush? It's not like you have plans. Why don't you just give me what I want and enjoy the girls? The offering is tempting, but I didn't come here for that. I came here to get paid, and I'm no idiot, King Inca. He takes out a small glass box with a floating powder inside of it. Many would love to get their hands on the stuff, and if I drop it, we're all dead. But it's nothing to worry about. In mid-conversation, he drops it. Oops! The king jumps in fear, but the man catches it. Oops! Sorry, he says. Inca laughs harder. Lord Inca finds you amusing, the droid says. Inca then waves his arm and a case of Republican credits appear. Hand over the rest, the droid says. Already being put in landing bay 4, you see, he says, as he pulls out a screen device showing a droid take crates off a ship. I just couldn't wait there for the cash. Oh, and this sample of it is mine. I got extra, so I'll keep it. The Hutt laughs more and says something else to the droid. You're free to go. Have a nice day, Kevin. Kevin leaves and takes a speeder to his ship. As he closes the hatch on his ship, he looks around. It was just a small cargo ship, barely big enough for anything more than a few crates. The droid asks, Hey, why do we have to do business with that slug? Every time you do, you end up with a blaster at your head. What are you talking about? No blasters were at my head this time. Kevin says, rolling his eyes. Yeah, this time, the droid replied. MD3, you know we're just fine now. Head back to Jeddah, will you? Where are you going, Kevin? I'm going to sleep, he says as he opens the door to the small room in the back. Sleep? Yeah, right. I've known you for 5 years. Since when do you sleep? MD3 called to him. Just fly to Jeddah. I'm tired, and I need to rest. He closes the door. MD3 heads to the cockpit. Yeah, right, you'll sleep. 5 years ago, Kevin bought this ship so he could start his job as a bounty hunter. It was dirty work, but paid more than what he was doing before. He was a garbage man on Jeddah. He's still a garbage man. He was just trying to get enough money so he could buy this small ship. When he finally did, he needed to co-pilot. Can't afford the help though, so he bought a droid. He would love to get his hands on any of the astromech models, even an old one would do great, but most of the models were only sold to military or big fighter companies. He had just enough to buy droid parts, not the whole droid. He then found half a protocol droid MD3 for sale, perfectly functioning. Just needed a few new legs and had only one arm. Still, you really only need one arm to fly the ship, so he went with it. Eventually, he bought some fire droid legs and an arm and attached it. It was a little odd though. MD3 had a body of a protocol droid with a very skinny, almost bone-like left arm and legs. How he got it to work was a mystery, all on its own. Kevin walked into the room and yawned. Turns out, since Kevin was a cast out from his home, he hasn't slept good in years. Not since he was 14. A lady walks in. "Hey, MD3, has that guy ever slept good?" "Not since I've known him," the droid says. He pulls up Kevin's info. "No last name, no past, and, well, no future if you ask me," MD3 says. "He's just a joke making ends meet." "Well, he's got a big pile of cash this time, Lit." "I'll say." Lit is just a handy mechanic that Kevin got to help a few years later, mostly for free. "He's going to have to pay me after this one," she smiles. As they head to Jeddah, you can hear in the back Kevin screaming from his nightmares. He woke up in a pit of sweat and walked into the cockpit. "Good morning," Lit says, almost to Jeddah. Kevin MD3 moans. For a droid, he does that a lot. They soon land on Jeddah. Kevin walks through the streets and sees people of all different types join into the crowd. A green Togruta male in white robes is preaching about the Force and the church he believes in. The Church of the Force is just a bunch of snob believers, Kevin calls out to him. The Togruta stops and turns around. He says, "Non-believers, even the Force swells inside you. You just don't know it yet." Kevin laughs and hugs his old friend. He then drops a couple of things into a pot that was next to him. "Here you go, Jarv. And there's more from that. Heading to the church right now." Jarv looks into the pot. "Are you kidding me? That's very generous. But we can't take your entire earnings." Kevin looks nervous about something. "Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that. I may have picked up an extra job other than garbage man," he says nervously. "Another job," Jarv says. "Was this job legal?" "In the Outer Rim, anything is legal." Kevin tries to walk away. "Yeah, I bet." "Look, Kevin, what was the job?" "It was perfect for me and safe-ish. I just had to pick up and transport some blasting powder from one place to another. In the right containers, it's perfectly safe." "What type of powder was it, Kevin? And where was it from? It was Dion powder, mined from Harloff Miner. Okay, Jarv looks shocked. Di. What? Kevin, that stuff is the third most explosive natural substance in all of the galaxy. You idiot! Who needed it? It was for a construction job, okay? They turned it into jelly, and it's not that bad anymore. Besides, I got paid, didn't I? Don't worry. Kevin, you can't go on jobs like that. You told me no more stealing jobs the last time. I didn't steal anything. I picked it up and transported it. It's on my way from the other job, and it was already paid for. It got me some extra cash. Just relax, Jarv. Jarv, red in the face now, starts frantically screaming, You idiot! Again and again. Idiot. Where's Laura? Jarv looks concerned when he asks this. Laura? Well, you see, Kevin, I wouldn't... Kevin looks at him with a serious face. Where's Laura? Is she in trouble? Hurts? Captured? Tell me! He shouts as he grabs Jarv. No, she's just on He looks away from his eyes. On a date. A date? At the sound of this, Kevin expression changes from surprise to confusion, then to anger. On a date? With you? A woman in a green dress, her brown hair in a bun, is sitting at a table with a Twi'lek. When Kevin runs in a fit of rage, yelling, How the hell could you go out on a date? The woman rolls her eyes and faces him. Hello, Kevin, she says slowly. Jarv runs in after him. Laura, I'm sorry, I'll get him out of your hair. He tries to grab Kevin, but he just back elbows him in the gut, then sets his eyes on the Twi'lek sitting across from Laura. As he tries to go in for a hit, the Twi'lek just rubs it off, saying, I'm not here for trouble. Laura says, Kevin, this is Bart. He's a nice Twi'lek that asked me to lunch, and I said yes. He's just a co-worker. Kevin looks at her, just a co-worker? Oops. Sorry, Bart. But it is a date, she says. She laughs at this. Kevin, you didn't get my last messages, did you? If you did, you would know I said I'm tired of it. I'm almost 30, and I'm not getting any younger. I don't ever see you. You don't ever see my messages. You're not taking me out anytime soon. I'm done being in a relationship with a guy who won't even tell me his last name or believes in the Church of the Force. It's over. She walks over, grabs Bart's hand, and leaves. Yeah, I don't help the church at all, even though I just donated a lot of credits from the job I was just on, he shouts at her. He walks the other way. Jarv follows. I own everything to the Church of the Force, he pauses. And her. Darn. She just broke up with me. Like that. Wow. Aren't I a loser? He walks into another bar and grabs a drink. No offense, Kevin, but she's right, you know. Yeah. I know. She's always right. Let me guess, Kevin. You didn't want her knowing about your second job, right? Kevin just nods. It's funny. I pretty much washed up on Jeddah, just a 14-year-old boy, out of trash. I was scared for my life. Escaped death, literally, when out of nowhere a robe is thrown around me. I look up to find her. She takes me to the church, and that was the end of it. And now, 15 years later, and I'm still a mess. I remember that day, like it was yesterday, Jarv says. I was cleaning the kitchen up when Headmaster brought you to me, said Jarv. Do you mind helping Laura with a new friend? I looked and you were hugging her. If I remember right, you were so pathetic and would not let go of her, calling her an angel. What a joke. Gavin laughed. Yeah, that was sometimes, huh? Yeah, sometimes, Gavin replied. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about. And see you in the next video. I'm out.